you're just getting started sports betting and can't decide between plus EV or arbitrage, this video is going to save you thousands of dollars in trial and error and months of frustration. So let's get into exactly where you should be starting and why. Arbitrage betting and plus EV betting are the two most popular and profitable sports betting strategies that sharp sports bettors across the world use to be a part of the top 3% of sports bettors that actually profit in the long term. But the thing is, they're very different, right? Positive EV requires a lot more bankroll and a lot more patience, but it also does have a higher profit ceiling than arbitrage. But also on the other hand, arbitrage is risk-free profit and a lot faster than positive EV in terms of results. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how each one works, the pros and the cons, and where you should be starting based on your situation. So what is arbitrage betting? If you've seen some of my videos before, you probably already know what it is because I talk a lot about arbitrage, right? I do anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month with this strategy, and that's why I love it so much. It's risk-free profit. We're betting on every single outcome of the same events at mispriced odds with these sports books. Now, just a quick explanation to go a little bit in depth of arbitrage and the strategy, just in case you're new. If we go over to the OddsJam website, it actually makes this process a whole lot easier for us. It has an arbitrage calculator, a great tool that I've been using for so long that's been making me all of the money and all of the profits that you see. It makes everything easy by spotting out all of the mispriced lines within the sports betting market and the different sports books that I have access to. But moving forward, the main point is arbitrage is risk-free, right? It does have its limits and it's more of a short-term profit game or a profit goal. It needs quick action and you do have a risk of getting limited or banned from these sports books. But at the end of the day, you are guaranteeing yourself risk-free profit using this strategy. So moving forward, what is positive EV betting, right? Plus EV betting or positive EV betting is essentially making bets where the odds are better than the true probability. Imagine you have a coin toss that's just a regular 50-50 heads or tails, but when you're making this bet or, with this coin, it's actually weighted and you have a 54-46 chance or something like that, right? Where it's a little bit rigged to your favor. You have an edge. Essentially, that's the exact same thing when we're making plus EV bets or taking plus EV stances within the sports betting market. We're playing with the odds in our favor. So now that you know what the two strategies are and what they mean, which one should you actually start with? Now, I would say that the answer to this depends on your situation. Personally, I always recommend that you start with arbitrage sports betting, right? Arbitrage sports betting, if you have anywhere less than $5,000 in bankroll, I would always start with arbitrage just because it's ensuring you profits, right? You're guaranteeing yourself, a little bit of extra bankroll by starting off with arbitrage, a quick and easy way to grow, your sports betting accounts, balances, and your just bankroll in general, right? Like I mentioned before, you're just betting on all sides of a game, and no matter what happens, you don't even have to stress about the game. You just know that you're going to make some type of return no matter what happens. So another benefit to starting with arbitrage is you actually get to learn and kind of experience hands-on how the sports books and how the market actually works. It helps you understand what the hell you're actually betting on and how odds move and the differences between these odds and how you can actually take advantage of them. Having a base and a foundation is super important when you're being a profitable sports bettor, so you can move on to other advanced strategies, right? Like this would allow you to target certain books, right? Understand what you're betting on, different line movements. It also helps you identify the difference between sharp versus soft sports books, right? So for example, a sharp sports book would be something like Pinnacle. It's a very widely known as the sharpest sports book, and then a soft sports book would be something like Bet365. So what is the difference between a sharp and a soft sports book, right? A sharp sports book like Pinnacle actually sets their lines more accordingly to the true probability of the event's, outcome. So whether, if it's going to go over or under, they'll set their odds accordingly to the true probability. Versus a soft sports book, they set their lines a lot more to attract recreational sports bettors, right? Just normal sports bettors that don't really know how to profit or use, these strategies to take advantage of, their line. So that's why you'll often see a lot of soft sports books limit or ban you a lot quicker. Bet365 will probably keep you on for 1 to 2 weeks if you're lucky, if you're using strategies like arbitrage sports betting and taking advantage of their soft lines, right? So their soft lines, you have a lot more value when, you're using a soft sports book. And again, with arbitrage sports betting, you avoid negative variance, right? You can go on a huge losing streak with, other strategies like positive EV, but with arbitrage sports betting, especially if you have, a lower, smaller bankroll, it ensures that you avoid that completely and it avoids you wiping out your small bankroll fast. So moving on to the risks of, starting with positive EV or just the risks of plus EV betting in general, right? it does have a higher profit ceiling and a higher potential profit, but it does include positive variance betting. It's still a form of positive variance betting, right? So this means, like I mentioned in the last clip, you can go on a long losing streak. You can go on losing streaks. And this is why if you have under $5,000 as bankroll, it's very almost risky in a way, and not very smart to risk going on a big losing streak, because at the end of the day it does require a long-term game, right? So moving forward to the risks of positive EV or plus EV betting in general, right? So it's a higher potential return, right? Like I said, the profit ceiling is a lot higher than arbitrage, but that's because there's it's a form of positive variance betting. What does that mean? Positive variance betting, it means that you can go on losing streaks. With plus EV, it's not insured profit, but since you are playing with an edge, you can go on big losing streaks. But that means in the long run, your wins will outweigh your losses, and you will go on bigger winning streaks than your losing streaks. So your wins will always outweigh your losses if you are correctly taking positive EV stances. Now, that brings me on to my next point. If you're not actually taking positive EV stances, your bankroll is just going to keep going down. You're never going to see your positive variance streaks outweighing your negative variance streak. So if you have a false understanding of how positive EV works and the stances that you're taking in the market, you're not going to profit. And you're not going to realize that until it's too late, because you're supposed to trust the process. So if you understand how these lines move and you understand how the sports books work, right, by using arbitrage and actually stacking your bankroll while learning, right, getting over that learning curve, it allows you to have more knowledge and allows you to be a lot more comfortable with taking different stances, taking different positive EV lines, and allows you to trust the process a lot more. So the actual best strategy that is recommended by me and a bunch of other profitable sports bettors is to start with arbitrage sports betting, right? Whether your bankroll is $1,000 or whether your bankroll is $10,000, you're still guaranteeing yourself risk-free profit. You're building your bankroll with absolutely no risk, right? So it allows you to gain experience in the market, identify different things like sharp versus soft sports books, and allows you to get over that learning curve that can boost your profit ceiling with plus EV. During that transition from arbitrage sports betting to positive EV sports betting, if you understand and have a base, a foundation, right? If you have this knowledge, it allows you to be a lot more profitable. And once your bankroll actually does grow, it allows a smoother transition into positive EV betting, and you're allowed to make a lot more calculated risks to maximize your profit. So my final takeaway after that long session of yapping is arbitrage builds bankroll and positive EV grows it. So the smartest approach would be to use arbitrage to gain bankroll and to gain experience. Arbitrage ensures steady growth while learning how the books work, and once you build your bankroll and understand the market, you can take positive EV positions and plus EV positions with confidence. So if you are brand new and want a smoother, safer entry point, I would definitely recommend starting with arbitrage, gaining confidence, gaining experience, and building your bankroll. But if you can stomach the swings and you have a larger bankroll and you're ready to handle the loss streaks and trust the process, then maybe plus EV betting is the safer entry point or the better entry point for you. Ultimately, it's going to come down to your goals and to your personality. I know some people that started with both arbitrage and plus EV. Personally, I started with a small bankroll of $1,000, so I started with arbitrage, grew my bankroll risk-free, and transitioned into plus EV. I'll leave links to both strategies below, as well as a 7-day free trial to OddsJam, which will make your process a whole lot easier. With that being said, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and turn your notification bells on for more educational sports betting content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.